I'm Greg Gorbach, and I'm here today with Mike Lackey of SAP. Mike is Global VP of Solution Management for Digital Manufacturing. Welcome, Mike.
Thanks, Greg. It's good. It's great to be here.
Mike, in the industrial community, we've seen an unmistakable acceleration in digital transformation activity. Many companies have adapted to the reality of pandemic and proved the value of digital and Industry 4.0 technologies. They're never going to go back to the old way. Has SAP seen the same thing, and how have you responded?
Greg, look, absolutely. There's been this Industry 4.0 journey that's been going on for the last 5 or 6 years, really looking at what should the future of manufacturing look like. So we saw a lot of companies, talking about starting this journey into a digital transformation, bringing in their global operations. And I think the Tariff Wars kind of got everyone's attention, but the pandemic has definitely accelerated the need and the movement toward this digital transformation. But look, it's not just manufacturing. It affected the entire supply chain. Manufacturers, ran out of material. That's what shut down the plants. So when we look at it, we really had to start with what is the new demand going to be for our customers? And then after we understood their demand, how do we get, second sourcings or the new materials into the plant so we can get them up and running again? So we've always been able to get the people back in the plant safely and keep them safe. Or, that wasn't the big issue. The issue was, the supply chain itself. So, here at SAP, we responded with our Industry 4.0, and it encompassed the entire supply chain. If it's in discrete, from design to operate, and then on the process side, it's from design to consume. And, and our customers really wanted 5 years of innovation in 18 months. They said, we can't wait to this, the rollout now. We need to put innovation into our plants faster. And that was a big challenge. And that's one of the commitments we have made to the cloud. Because, when we roll out our applications in the cloud, you can roll them out faster. And when we can roll them out faster, we can also develop innovation faster. Every 90 days, we're updating our applications with new features and functionalities and user experience. So, the speed at which we can deliver means the speed at which our customers could deliver. And it was not just about, we see a big movement to automating processes. One of the challenges was, we couldn't, the people couldn't come back in the factories. We didn't have the, we did get the material, bringing the people back safely. A lot of companies are going to automation of processes on the shop floor. Well, sure. For us at SAP, it was more about automating business processes. Taking advantage of technologies like machine learning and artificial intelligence means that we can not only support and get the data off the equipment on the shop floor, but we could tie it into business context. And I think that's the biggest thing, the value we're bringing here. Look, in the future, the intelligent enterprise, the connected factory, is going to work more like a network than just, an entity by itself. You're going to have different partners. You're going to have, competitors today will be your business partners in the future. You're going to own a lot of your factories, and you're still going to take advantage of third-party contractors and third-party factories and, a different type of suppliers. So bringing them all together into a network and finding new partners that can help you innovate faster, that's a big key of what the future is going to look like. And I really believe, when we bring these business processes together, and we start automating these processes, you're going to see the change that customers are looking at with this. So yes, absolutely. This pandemic has done nothing but accelerate the need for digital transformation. Our customers' business is changing, and that means process have to change with it.
Yeah, we've certainly seen that too. Another characteristic of today's environment is that companies have learned the value of being resilient and adaptable. So how does SAP help customers with this?
Yeah, let's start simply. What does resilient mean and adaptable, right? It means you have the agility or the ability to respond to dynamic changes. And dynamic means they're unpredictable. They come at you, they're always changing, right? So if you're really going to create this resiliency in your operations or have the resiliency in the supply chain, our focus has to be on business outcomes, not solutions, not, automating a single process, but automating an end-to-end business process. So if we focus on the outcomes, it kind of leads us down that journey. It's about, quickly responding to changing customer demand or even unforeseen downtime in the factory. I mean, that's one of the biggest challenges we're seeing today. I have conversations, daily with customers about where they want to go in the future and how SAP can help them. 2 months into the pandemic, I'm talking with a food manufacturer. They said, Mike, before the pandemic, 80% of our business, was the restaurants. We manufactured in bulk. We shipped in bulk. We sourced in bulk. Our process were set up to deliver that way. He says today, 70% of our business is grocery stores, which means we're not shipping 50-pound bags up. We're shipping 12. We're shipping, quantities that can be consumed by a family here. And that means our process has changed. That means our sourcing changed. That means the impact on our costing changed. And so we had to really look at how our business and our process could change to support that change in the customer demand. So look, the enterprise and the shop floor must be connected to truly achieve these maximum benefits that we're all talking about with Industry 4.0. Data collected on the shop floor must have business context. Understanding what that temperature or that pressure or that transaction on the shop floor at a machine is impact on my cost structure, the impact on my customer commitments, my production plan, my delivery plan, my suppliers, my inventory, my quality standards, the logistics, assets. It touches the whole company, the whole enterprise. And that's really the value of being resiliency, is having, when these changes happen, know the cadence of my manufacturing operations, not in one plant, but in my 40 plants, my 100 plants, my, in some cases, 400 plants, operating as one entity to deliver on my global demand. And that's the big key. And, the data's there. We're collecting a lot of data, but knowing how that data impacts different aspects of your business is to me the key to driving resiliency and really sustainability into not only your supply chain, but your business operations.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I mean, you have to take a holistic view like that if you're gonna make this work. So,
Greg, we always talk about silos of data, and you're right. You have to take the holistic view. It's not just silos of data in manufacturing, but we can't have silos of data. Your sales data can't stay in a silo. Your planning data, your inventory data, your customer data, it all must come together. And customers are, our customers, the manufacturers, are realizing the importance of bringing manufacturing into the enterprise and into the supply chain. And that's kind of a big change. And now it's becoming not only my ability to remain profitable, but it's also meaning your ability to survive in these unprecedented changes or times that we're in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of that, it seems like everybody's talking about transformation in one way or another, but innovation goes hand in hand with transformation. And, companies I'm talking to, they really want to think about impactful change, not just incremental change. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, Greg, this is the one time in history, well, it's the one time that I can remember in the last 20 years that manufacturers have a pass. Okay. We all got caught unprepared for this pandemic. Very few people saw it coming, and I don't think any of us saw the global impact that it's having. So we have a chance to take a step back and say, okay, it's happened once, could it happen again? What does my operations need to look like? Now, you and I had the conversation just the other day when we were in manufacturing. I was a manufacturing engineer. If 3 to 5%, efficiency increasing, and it was a great year. Companies have the opportunity now to take a step back and not panic, but invest and look at what am my business going to look like in 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years, and what changes could happen, and really do a digital transformation that does a jump step, not single digit, but double digit. We are seeing customers who are understanding their business, what the business is going to look like, and building, the connected enterprise, the intelligent enterprise, and the intelligent, manufacturing, and bringing intelligence from the shop floor up. They're seeing a 40% increase in operational efficiency. 10% increase in operational cost, 160% increase in output. And we're not talking about, automating the whole floor. We're talking about this transformation of how I'm doing business. And lot sizes are getting smaller. And it may not be down to lot size of one, but they're getting smaller. And that means I got to change my processes. I have to be able to do mass customization at the same cost, the same cost, quality, and throughput as mass production. And that's a lot of change here. And that's what we're really seeing is companies have the chance today to change, to do this digital transformation that's going to set them for the future, not only today, but like I said, 2, 5, 10 years down the road. And, we have a tremendous opportunity to take advantage of this, and working with partners like SAP and, working with customers like, companies like ARC and other automation companies to come together with that strategy and truly understanding where companies want to go. That's how you're going to drive out this change. And I think we're in a great position to do that.
So, Mike, you touched on a couple of examples where it sounds like there's a lot of value in this whole notion of digital transformation. Can you cite some other examples, maybe?
Yeah, I'll give you an example of one of our customers, Continental. And everybody thinks about Continental tires. This is actually Continental, and they make automotive air springs. And, they took a look at their business and says, you could have social political change. You could have change in the environment. When I was in manufacturing, I remember we had a hurricane hit our plant down in Puerto Rico and came up the east coast of the U.S. and took out a second plant. So there's a lot of challenges that can come in. So they said we need to be able to move production from plant across our global operations. We needed standardized processes. We needed to know what was the capability of every plant and make sure that every plant was harmonized in standards that not only to improve the efficiency, but be able to digitize the production process. And this was a big project they took on. It was across multiple manufacturing plants, it was across multiple product segments. And when they started getting this tightly integrated, machine and operational data tied back in with, business data, they started driving out efficiencies. They started having better visibility. They were able to, fine tune and replan production orders based on their ability to deliver not in one plant, but across their global operations. They built that resiliencies that they were, able to adjust and the flexibility required, that only having process control can deliver for you. And they saw increase in quality. They were collecting more data, but not collecting more data. They were collecting the right data and knowing how that data impacted their business. And also taking, brownfield equipment and using Internet of Things and sensors to get intelligence off that equipment and those assets and the impact that could bring back into the business. And, you're seeing tremendous impact when you look at your global operations and have that visibility and that control to have standardization. And, that was a big undertaking for these guys. And the return on that investment has been incredible for them.
Well, Mike, we're really living in interesting times, and I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying it. So, you had some a lot of interesting things going on today. What's your view of where this goes in the future?
Well, industry 4.0 and digital transformation, it's a journey, and every customer's on a different milestone. But I'm telling you, now is the time. It's not the time to panic. It's the time to invest. It starts in the boardroom. Okay, what is your business going to look like? Are you going to sell products? Are you going to sell products as a service, based on consumption or usage, right? If that's the case, that impacts how your operations must evolve to support what's coming out of the boardroom. And look, I hear it every day: intelligent factory, smart factory, digital factory, live factory. All these companies have these new digital strategies or digital programs to transfer the way they're going to do business or transform this into the digital world. And if you have not started on that journey, you need to start, and you need to start accelerating. Look, companies need to dream big. Where do you see your business going? Industry 4.0 is not about incremental change, but it's about building resiliency in the factory of the future that is going to take your company where you want to be, not only today, but 5-10 years down the road. So my advice to companies is to get on this journey, understand your business, understand where you need to be, and let's start looking at business outcomes and how that can change. And I'm a big proponent of technology that's out there, machine learning, building that intelligence that we need to automate business processes. I'm a big proponent of 3D printing. I really think that's going to change the way we look at the supply chain and we look at manufacturing processes as that technology evolves. There's a lot going on with collecting, not only collecting big data, but analyzing the right data, tying it back into the business. There's a lot of technology out there taking advantage of these cloud applications and the speed that we can deliver innovation. So when I look at this, I think we're at a great point in the time that we can really drive change and look at how we keep companies not only number one in their business, but their doors open and thriving in the future. And it is an exciting time. And I'm glad we at SAP are a part of this, and we're really helping our customers plan for this future.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Let's close with this one. What are some key takeaways from today's discussion?
Well, I think if we had to look at the key takeaways is, look, we need to get started, right? If you're not on this journey for this digital transformation, you need to really take a step back. And to really pull off this transformation, it's going to take a lot of strategic partners like ARC, like SAP, like automation vendors. And like one of the values of SAP is our partner ecosystem. Involve these our partners who know our applications, that know manufacturing, that know your business and can really help you with what that future is going to look like and how you can implement this transformation going forward. So, for me, it's getting started. And again, it's dream big. Where do you want to be? Where do you see your business? And if I look at it today, understanding what your business is going to look like in the future is very strategic coming out of this pandemic. And then, building the infrastructure and operational processes to take you there is key for your future survival. And let's engage. Let's look at business outcomes. Let's start with your customer and your customer demand, and then let's drive this change through manufacturing. And SAP can be there with you every step of the way.
Oh, that's terrific. Thanks, Mike. Great information. I really want to thank you for sharing your ideas with us today.
Oh, my pleasure, Greg. Thanks for having me.
I've been speaking with Mike Lackey, Global VP of Solution Management for Digital Manufacturing at SAP. Thank you for watching.